Hey everybody, this is Joe.
And this is Jenna.
From Fantastic Reviews.
And this week we're reviewing Archer's opening episode for Season 8, titled Dreamland. Ooh! Oh my gosh, guys, I'm so excited this is back, and it is better than ever. Oh my goodness. It really puts you back into that Archer feel if you guys have watched Archer before. First few seasons were amazing, but I felt like the last two kind of were...
Yeah, I feel
something
like
was missing from it, and I'm not sure what to put my finger on that was missing.
I feel like since the Miami season, like it kind of was like, okay, all right, this is okay.
You know
it recaptured some of it when they were working for the CIA.
A little bit.
But then I think the last season where there were PIs in Los Angeles was not good at all.
No, I don't think so. You know what I think it was? Is that they were really feeling around to see what worked for them, and they hit it with Dreamland. Because we're basically... Okay, we're in Archer's Dreamland because he's in a coma, and he's in the 1940s as a private eye. And oh my gosh, do all these characters fit right into the 40s in that time right there.
Dreamland is based in a film noir design. It's very like old school kind of, I don't know, spy cop drama.
Where a dame walks in and you're like, hey, take a seat and we'll have drinks at 9 in the morning.
It's the very stereotypical private eye kind of movie from way back when. Think like kind of Dick Tracy-ish, I guess.
Yeah, like Dick Tracy. Only with more swears. And
it's very stereotypical. It's very campy. It's very...
it's very Archer.
It's very, very Archer. But... They play it up. Like, they know this is being done, and they're purposely doing it, and it's being done extremely well.
It is phenomenal. It's only been one episode, and I cannot wait for the next one. Again, I like Archer. I've seen all the seasons. We do rewatch the episodes when they're on, but the last season definitely really fell flat for us, and this one just completely reinvented all of our hopes.
It's only been one episode, and already I'm in love with this season.
Yeah.
Basically, how the story goes is, if you've been following Archer, spoilers up ahead, by the way. At the end of season 7, Archer gets shot, and he falls into a pool. At the end of the season, we're not quite sure what happens to him. Well, when this season opens up, it's become obvious that he's in a coma. He's been in a coma for a while, and we don't know when he's going to come out of it, if he does.
If he ever does.
Could be tomorrow. Could be another 3 months.
So what happens is he's in his own dream state now, where he's a private eye back in the 40s. Who was his butler, Woodhouse,
was his partner.
Was his partner in the dream. He was killed. So now the whole season is going to be about who killed Woodhouse.
Right.
When in the real world, Woodhouse died. We don't know how.
Right. Every character has their spot in Archer's Dreamland. His mother still controls his life. She's a mob boss, but it's not really his mother. Len Drexler is a rival mob boss. Lana Kane is still Lana Kane, but she's a nightclub singer, and it's his love interest. All the other characters play various other roles to bother him, as they do every other time.
They're still pretty much the same characters they are in his reality, but they're put into different roles.
Yep.
But they still pretty much have the same personality, which just goes to show, and Adam Reed did make comment to this on an interview that he had, that Archer really doesn't know anyone outside of that circle. He has no friends. His world is very small, and his mind keeps it small.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see what other characters from his life he pulls into this Dreamland, if he does. I mean, we know we've seen his rivals Barry and again Len Drexler. Will we see the man he thought might be his father? Will we see Katya at all, which was his ex-fiance? Will they come into play at some point in time and mess things up even further? Who knows? It'll be interesting to find out.
There's a lot of potential with this season, especially because now he's back in his own mind, and we've seen this once before in an episode where he was kind of drugged and knocked out. Actually, he was bitten by a snake, and he was poisoned, and he was kind of hallucinating, but
also regressing in his memory.
Yeah, so he's going back in his mind, and he's seeing things that happened in the past and how they relate to him now. He catches a glimpse of his father, his actual real father, and immediately forgets it. back in that episode.
Yeah.
So are we going to come across that again? The other interesting thing to point out is that in his dream, he views himself as a World War II vet.
Bronze Star with 2 oak leaves and V device, Legion of Merit, Croix de Guerre with palm, Silver Star with 2 oak leaves, Distinguished Service Cross with 1 oak leaf and V device, 3 purple hearts. It goes on, Mr. Archer.
Who actually was in the war, who was at Normandy.
Yep. He views himself, and it's interesting to think, is this the man Archer thinks he is in the real world, or is it the man that he always wanted to be and never could live up to? Or is he taking on the role that he thinks his father was because his mother told him he was a World War II flying ace who got shot down in the war? So is this perhaps the man that he dreamed of when he was a child, and now this is him as well? So it's interesting to see that since this does take place in Archer's mind, how he fits all these pieces together and how he views himself. Because even in the real world, in Archer's world, he's a very competent spy. He messes up, but he gets the job done. In his dream world, he's very competent and knows it, at least so far. And he has a very different moral standard in here than he does in the real world. So it's interesting to see how the differences in his interactions with characters are in his dreamland than they are in his real world. And is it that he wants them to be real, or is this how he thinks it's all going every day and he just doesn't realize that he's actually an ass?
And speaking of speculation, in that interview that I mentioned earlier with Adam Reed, who's the creator of Archer, by the way, he mentioned that someone might not make it to the end of the season.
This is a dream world, so it could be in his dream or in the actual Archer-ness of the show.
It can mean anything. I mean, the writing of this show was so good. Their continuity is fantastic. I mean, you go back, like, if you go back and watch some of the earlier seasons, stuff that happens in the later seasons still hold up and tie back into the initial events. It's really, really good. And what I've learned from Archer is that you can't take anything for face value.
You really can't.
Anything.
Nope.
Because there's always some kind of deeper story. Adam Reed is just, he's an amazing architect of this series as a whole.
And it'll be interesting to see if some of the questions that they've been let hanging throughout all these seasons get tied up in this Dreamland, or if they'll just broach new questions as it goes on.
Which seems to be the trend. We get more questions and no answers.
No answers. It's like, hey, by the way, we're gonna answer this question later, maybe. Give it 4 more seasons. We do know it's renewed up to season 10. This is season 8 right now, so hopefully we get some of them answered before the end of the series.
Didn't he say season 10 is going to be the last season, though?
Last season is season 10. I think that their plan is to wrap it up at season 10. So they have their story mapped out. They have their ending point that they want to get to, and they expect to get to it by season 10. But if they want to extend it throughout, if they want to go forward with it, I'm sure they might change some stuff up. We'll see. Because it is Archer. You can't drop it into any place and time and just go off with it. So.
The great thing about this episode, though, that makes you look forward to the rest of the season is it definitely brings back that Archer charm.
Mm.
I mean, they bring back, they haven't brought back any of the catchphrases yet. But they have thrown in a lot of jokes that kind of harken back to the earlier seasons in that same kind of tone. And with the noir setting, in the 1940s setting, they're even coming up with brand new stuff that is just absolute gold.
How much for the champagne?
$26.
What? I'm not paying $26 for a bottle of frustration. You're lucky my ear hurts. There.
Plus tip.
How about the tip of my cock?
Stop it! So, in that scenario, would I take your penis in my hand? My mouth?
Asshole. Wait, no, I mean, not... God damn it!
It's unbelievable, and it's so great what they're coming up with, and I am just so happy for this season.
I really think they hit their stride with this particular season.
It's only been one episode, people. It's only been one episode.
But from just this one episode, it's a great launching point for the season. It brings you back to what Archer started out as. And I think when they lost Isis, and they had to go off on a different path. And they were trying out new things. Let's be drug dealers for a bit. Let's do this for a bit. Let's work with the CIA. It missed a step, and something was lost in those transitions. It wasn't that it wasn't good. It just it lost some of the magic of the original seasons. And this one brings it back. So we're back. Archer's back. He's better than ever. And I really can't wait to see what happens with all the characters.
What do you think is going to happen at the end of the season? Is he going to wake up? And if he does, what do you think is going to happen?
That is a good question that I have not thought about. I think if he wakes up, he's going to know what happened to Woodhouse. I mean, this whole season is probably going to be trying to find out what happened with Woodhouse's death. And he's going to know what actually caused his real death in the series. And
they've talked about where Woodhouse is for the last 2 seasons.
2 seasons. He's been gone for a while, and they've mentioned it offhandedly a couple times, but never really dove too far into it. So now we're going to see what actually happens. And
maybe.
I think that's probably going to be the mystery that gets solved at the end, and him waking up to say how it happened or what happened with it. And maybe, I think, we're going to find out who his father is. I think this is the season that we're going to find out who his actual father is, and he's going to wake up with some very pointed questions for Mallory and go off to find him. And that'll be season 9. I think, but we'll see what happens. They like to throw that out there and then take it right back.
Oh, yeah.
What about you? What do you think is going to happen?
Adam Reed has said in that interview that there's going to be a lot of flashbacks in Dreamland. So what I think is going to happen is there's going to be a big thing. It's going to surround his father, and he's going to wake up in just a rage, and he's just going to Archer. He's
going to rampage.
He's going to rampage at the end of the season. I predict a rampage at the end of season 8.
That would be
That's
great.
all I know, and I think we're going to get at least 1 or 2 lingering questions answered, like maybe who his father is, and maybe what happened to Jackoff.
Yeah, I hope we get that one answered, because they dangled it out there for us before Comic-Con a couple years ago. They were like, oh, and by the way, that video that Jackoff left, what happened with it? We don't know. They know. They won't tell us.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll get that resolved as well.
Yeah.
So
exciting. We're obviously excited for
exciting.
season 8. Are you as excited as we are? We are definitely pumped up about this.
Yep.
Let us know in the comments below. Give us a like on the video if you like our assessment. Subscribe to our channel for future updates.
Yep. We'll probably be doing a lot more Archer speculation as the season goes on. So if you like Archer and you like hearing us talk nonstop about it, subscribe to our channel so that you can hear more of that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There
Follow
will be
us on
more.
Twitter and everything, too.
Facebook also.
We have Facebook as well. What is the world coming to?
Links are in the description below.
I think that's all for us this week, though.
All right. Well,
All right.
thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Bye, Internet.